All right, I want to have fun today. It's been a bad morning. We're going to have fun.
Aw.
We're going to have fun.
Right.
It's our time. It's our time to shine. I need to close Safari because it doesn't need to be open. Okay, here we go. Ladies and germs, join us now, won't you? For the beginning of the show, finally. It's the morning stream, which begins in 3. Oh, I should have that up. 2, 1. 1. Ah, damn it. Hold on. Shite. I got to put 2 more things in. Okay, that one and that one. Okay. All right, Brian, for real now.
Sure.
Here we go. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS. You know what you did.
Take a swing at the dawn.
Young Han.
Bieber butt.
We get Vader later.
Recommendals.
Tom's Tech Time.
Your emails, phone calls, and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
Hey, Scotty, what level are you at with these Sega games?
Safari Hunt. Ghostbusters. Shoplifter. Black Belt. Hang on.
Yeah. So, what level can you get to?
Look for Sega's Ghostbusters Great Volleyball and Shooting Gallery.
Walter. My name is Walter.
The morning stream. 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 The morning stream.
Hello, this is the morning stream. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the morning stream. That was an interesting little reference to the Princess Bride there, right?
Oh,
Fletcher
yeah.
just did. So I'm watching Kim's watching some HBO thing with Laura Dern in it. You might know what this is, because I'm relatively noobish to the back catalog of what's happening on HBO, and you may know. But anyway, it's some Laura Dern thing where she like had a nervous breakdown and had to take a crappy job.
Enlightened, I believe.
Is that a newish thing? Kind of newish?
I didn't think that was HBO. I thought that was Showtime.
It's HBO. Well, it's on our Go app, or our Now app, rather. She's in that. The Princess Bride lady, Robin Wright Penn, or I guess she's just Robin Wright now. She's all up in that, and I was surprised to see her there. So anyway, that just reminded me of that. Yeah, Kim likes that show, for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. It's it came at a time when there was a lot of other things apparently we were watching on HBO, so we never even picked that one up.
To me, it's a little bit hard to watch because it's white people problems, you know. and
right.
And by that I just mean a lot of whining and sort of oh woe is me, my latte was a little colder than it should have been kind of stuff.
That's the one with Jack White as well, right?
Yeah. No, wait. Luke Wilson. Is Jack White in it? I don't know.
I don't say Jack White's in it.
Maybe.
Not Jack White. No, is it Jack White? Who's the guy who was in School of Rock with Jack Black?
Oh, that was Michael Ian Black. No?
No.
I have all my blacks mixed up.
Oh my God. David Croft and the stuff he's posting in the chat room.
Yeah. He's a damn distracting bunch is what they are.
It's damn distracting. No, I think it's Jack White. Who's the guy? He's kind of pasty-faced. He's a director as well.
Oh, right. The little piddly Weasley guy. Kind of blonde and pale.
Yes, right.
That guy. I forget his name.
Mike White?
Maybe.
That's what people are saying. Mike White.
He's an interesting-looking dude. He's in lots of things.
Yes, Mike White. Yes.
He's like the American. I don't know what to compare him to. He looks like he would be
looks
British.
Like Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, he looks like a British guy.
Yeah,
like you'd swear a British accent is about to pop out of that dude, but he's not.
Yep,
he's like me and you.
That's what I'm thinking of, and he is an enlightened.
I burped, so put that on your card there, everyone. Anyway, it's a show. We're here. It's been a little weird start this morning. I apologize to the live audience. You at home don't care. But hey, it's Wednesday, July 8th, 2015. I'm Scott. That's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott.
Let's you and I put our heads together and come up with something here.
Okay.
And that thing is a show. Let's do a show. There's lots to talk about. We have our usual Wednesday ridiculousness coming up, so stay tuned for all of that. But we haven't heard from our friend Paula Deen in a while, have we?
Oh, no, we haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from her since she went off to go make love to her tater.
Right. It was the tater. In fact, let's pull that up. Let's have some memory lane here, okay? Paula Deen, Making love to her tater. Here you go. Where is it? There's nothing about the tater. Why? Oh, here we go.
If you're out there,
nope, different.
Well, that's a good one too, though.
That's
that one has someone threw the word tater in there.
That's right. We edited it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear that one. Why not?
if you're out there, please pick up that tater and throw it so hard in my head that it kills me. Please, I want to meet you.
Oh, wow.
Dark times for Paula Deen.
Here's you, I think.
I make love to my tater.
No, that was
That's
me.
you.
That was me. How about this one?
And if y'all will excuse me for a couple of minutes, I'm going to finish making love to my tater.
All right, there's that. And then there's some other stuff.
Your butt is going to be mine.
All right.
No,
All right.
it's very distressing.
Okay, so here.
I is what I is.
I is what I is.
Those are all gold.
Oh
Can't
my
get rid of
gosh.
any of those either.
They're terrible. Anyway, so she had this big falling out, right? You remember the whole thing with the
Oh,
racist
yeah.
party and all the stuff that happened?
Racist comments and stuff like that. Yep.
Mhm, sure, and she did some kind of blackface party at the house or some weird
Cooking
thing.
deep fried butter, I believe, is the thing.
Sure, that's a tasty treat. So that was going on, and everybody freaked out, and she was basically kind of ostracized a little bit and treated, like she had farted in church and not allowed back in sort of thing, and she's had to kind of claw her way back, and she's had some web deals and some other stuff come up and another book deal or something, so, things are probably okay. Well, then this happened, and I want to just say for the record, Paula Deen, she's not fooling me with her comment here.
Oh, God.
But here's what
Okay.
happened. They tweeted on the Paula Deen Twitter account. If you click this link, you can see it. A tweet from Paula Deen that says, "Lucy, you got some esplainin' to do," which is wrong, by the way. It should be splainin', not esplainin'.
Esplainin'. You got a lot of esplainin' to do.
Yeah.
I think I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Okay,
Overruled.
okay, fine. Judge Ibbott has spoken. Judge Abbott. Then it has a hashtag Transformation Tuesday and then at Bobby Dean, which is her son. Okay?
Okay.
That was the tweet. And the photo attached is her as Lucy Ricardo. I don't know who the guy in the back is supposed to be, although he's enormous.
It's certainly not
Fred.
Fred. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hurts.
I don't know what's happening there, but her son in brown face
Oh, jeez.
is supposed to be Ricky. And he didn't even bother to brown up the hands. He's got white hands and then the brown
exactly.
face. So he painted himself brown to look like Ricky Ricardo, a
Okay.
Cuban American, if anyone recalls how that went.
Yeah.
So then complaints started rolling in. People are like, okay, here we go again. She's basically doing the Latino version of blackface. This time, you'd think you'd learn, or that you would have had somebody say something. So she says in a statement released to NBC News, and this is the part that's bullcrap, okay?
Okay.
She says, Paula Deen's social media manager posted a picture this morning of Paula and Bobby Dean dressed in costume as Lucy and Ricky from the I Love Lucy show. This photograph is from 2011's Halloween party of Paula's Best Dishes. Paula immediately had the picture taken down as soon as she saw the post and apologizes to all who were offended. The statement says, as such, Paula Deen Ventures has terminated their relationship with this social media manager. Now, fine. So the social media manager dug back 4 years, and said, here's one. This will be funny.
Pretty funny. We'll throw this out there. Yeah.
But you're still in the photo.
Right. Yeah. You didn't. This wasn't like a photoshopped.
Ugh.
We're going to use the Latino filter.
I guess what I don't mind, Brian, is okay. I don't like racism of any sort.
Sure.
I don't, whatever. I think it's an important topic, so it's fun to talk about it. Not fun to talk. It's important to talk about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can, humor can be a way you can talk about these issues. You see that with stand-up a lot, that kind of thing. I'm totally for all of that open dialogue. But this sort of thing, you either need to own it and say, "Yep, that was dumb," or just not do it.
If she would have owned up to it, I think she could have said, it's not, we're not at all doing this in a derogatory way. It was a mistake. We realized that. We thought it was funny at the time. No harm was meant in there, and blah, blah, blah.
Right. We loved the show. We love Ricky Ricardo. Whatever.
Yeah.
You could have had more to say about it. But the bottom line is it's super stupid, and you just should own it. Don't go, let's throw this social media manager under the bus. It's still you in the photo.
Right. Well, if it's Bobby Dean, if it's her son, why isn't he dressed up as little Ricky instead of Ricky Ricardo?
Yeah.
Isn't that a little weird too?
Yeah. I mean, it is weird.
Or, better yet, make him up as Ethel. You want the laughs? You want the comedy gold?
Yeah.
Dress Bobby Dean up as Ethel.
Or better yet, since neither of them really look the role, okay, they both look kind of not great as Lucy and Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
How about instead of that, how about something totally different than that? How about something that doesn't involve you painting one of your sons or friends or housemates or somebody in paint that makes them look like a race that isn't theirs? How about that, Paula Deen?
Yeah.
I don't know why this rubbed me so wrong this morning. I just saw this thing. I was on the toilet with my phone, and I went, what? She's in the photo. How can you say, oh, we have severed all ties. We have no affiliation with this. We have just like completely turn your back on it when it's you and him in the freaking photo.
You know, let me ask something. Just kind of
play devil's advocate. I'm fine.
I'm not going to play devil's advocate,
all right.
but I'm going to say, if in the 20s and 30s, if we would not have had blackface, if we would not have had singers and actors putting makeup on themselves to look black and then kind of emoting these racist things, would it be considered so bad today to dress up to make yourself look like a race that isn't yours if it's done in a non-derogatory way?
So like if you were just like, I'm Samuel I want to be Samuel L. Jackson from the Avengers.
Right. I guess there's no way to do it that isn't like stereotype, right? You can't just do it to be
right. I don't know. It's hard.
You're not going to dress up as someone from Finland. Is it Finland?
Finland. They are so you'd have to be a lot more white than you and I are. Though.
You have to hover above the ground
right.
a few inches, and
you have to be translucent. You got to see your little heartbeat like a baby fish. Here's the thing though. Like I think you make a really good point, but it's hard to see it outside of that umbrella, right?
It really is. Oh, it totally is, because there was so many years and so much derogatory use of that sort of thing.
It's a little piece of oppression, and so that little piece of oppression endures and makes it hard when you see, somebody like who was it, Ted Danson, that did it when he was roasting his then girlfriend Whoopi Goldberg, and everybody freaked out because Ted Danson was in blackface. I mean the way. Okay, to answer your question,
like if I were to dress up as Charlie Chan for Halloween, would that be racist? Is it racist because I'm not dressing like a certain? See, that's a weird thing.
It's a great question.
Was it racist as a character as opposed to a race?
Well, was it racist when? Who's the guy that used to dress up like Chinese people all the time and make big stupid voices? And he was
Peter Sellers.
No, not him. Although, well, he
did a lot of that.
Yeah, he did that too. But I'm thinking of. Okay, well, all right. Actually, let's look at it that way. Jerry's kids, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis. Okay,
sure.
So he did the whole put the teeth out and everything, right?
Yes.
So he went crazy on it. Everybody everywhere says that was horribly racist and in poor taste. However, why is that in poor taste? I'm not arguing for one side or the other here, but I'm trying to get to what you were saying.
Well, that's a good example, because that's that is because he did the large front teeth. He exaggerated the way the speech. He kind of made a joke out of the way they talk and things like that.
So the question is, why is that?
I'm even trying to be careful. Saying something like the way they talk even sounds like.
I know you feel like you got to tiptoe, but why is that so offensive? Yet, say Peter Sellers' portrayal of a French detective with the most extreme French stereotypes possible. Why is that not offensive? Well, I'm sure it's offensive to somebody, and the answer is probably stems back to what Wendy was saying years ago in a Therapy Thursday, that if we oppressed another race, then it's racist for us to impersonate that race. I guess so. Yeah. I mean, essentially that's what she said. I don't know. It's complicated, but in the case of Paula Deen, it's almost like I'm not even worried about whether it's egregiously racist or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like, dude, you were in the photo, freaking own up to it.
Right, yeah.
Say that you did, whether you think that was a good idea or the rest of the world doesn't, and you're the only person that thinks it was fine. But stand on that, wear the clothes you wear. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to be a person, be that freaking person. If you're going to be a dirty racist, fine. But don't act like you're not one, And I'm not even saying she is one. I'm just saying whatever this is, own up to it. And don't just say, that person's been fired.
And for the record, see Thomas Howell, totally racist.
That's pretty racist. Yeah, but okay. How about this one? How about the Robert Downey Jr. business in Rolling Thunder, Tropic Thunder. Yeah. Now see, it was so knowing, right? It was so like that was the point of it. It was addressing that issue.
Yes.
So nobody ever talks to me and says, "Oh man, can you believe that? It really ruined his career. That was the most racist thing everyone ever did." No, because it was like this commentary on the thing he was portraying.
Yeah.
That creates discussion around the idea of blackface.
Yeah, exactly. It was done. How do you phrase it? I mean, it was basically done so egregiously, so self-aware.
Self-aware. There you go. Self-aware is the word. It's kind of like Medea, probably.
Right.
Right. Nobody's accusing him of overt sexism for wearing a dress in movies or making fun of
versus racism.
Well, right.
I mean, Flip Wilson and Milton Berle did it long.
Sure. They did, but you could argue
the people keep bringing up the Wayans brothers and white chicks.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a good one. But see, they're in a position of the race that has been treated very poorly over hundreds and hundreds of years,
right?
To doing it the other way around.
This is the Wendy thing of the dressing up as the race that your race has oppressed for a long time is in poor taste.
It's interesting social science, isn't it? At the very least, we can take it from that. But my whole point is, hey, Paula Deen.
Yeah, exactly. You probably didn't want to go down this rabbit hole of
it's okay
of controversy.
It's all good. I don't mind it. I just want her to say, yeah, that's my photo. We did the dumb thing, and we're not going to pretend like it's... I
can't believe my social media manager has this photo.
I can't believe he dug up this poor taste thing that we did, that we actually did. It's so dumb to me. All right, let's call Daryl and get this Trek part of the show on the road. We'll get emails. That's fine. I know we're a couple of white guys talking about race issues. I know. I freaking probably hear from JJ tomorrow or something. He'll want to talk. Mm-hmm. That's fine with me. I guess I should spell Daryl's name properly. Here we go.
I welcome the emails because in cases like that where we don't have any experience on the other side of things, if there's Latin listeners to this show who are offended by Bobby Dean's portrayal of Ricky Ricardo in a way that just isn't because that photo is stupid.
Yeah, because we're all offended by that.
We're all offended by how stupid that photo is.
Let us join in unison in saying how stupid that photo is.
Right.
But there's two arguments to be had. One is on the side of the real racial questions, and the other is, why is she such a gas bag that won't take responsibility for her own stupid actions? Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's Daryl time, and that means Stump's Trek Nerd, and it's brought to you by...
Hey, have you heard of this guy, Scott Johnson?
Yeah.
Do you like his art?
No.
Do you think The Red Shirt Diaries is a funny web series?
Yes.
Are you dying to figure out how these two things are intertwined? Well, if you're attending San Diego Comic-Con this week, The Red Shirt Diaries has two meetups. Thursday, July 9th from 12:30 to 1:30, and Friday, July 10th from 3 to 4 at the Geekscape booth at number 3919. Meet stars and creators Ashley Victoria Robinson and Jason Inman and see the first trailer for Season 2. Come by booth 3919 at San Diego Comic-Con, pick up an exclusive print by Scott Johnson, and tell them that the morning stream sent you.
Yeah, I did a fun little drawing. I haven't posted it anywhere because I wanted them to have, their crack at the week.
Little exclusives, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
We'll show it off later after they're done. But
I can't wait to see it.
It's pretty cool. And we like those guys a lot, and we wish them the best. And we're also, all three of us are in Season 2, it appears. So
we are, although my audio file got really screwed up that I recorded with them for a couple hours on a Saturday or Friday.
Oh, no.
So we're going to have to redo them. And I'm hoping that, because we've had a lot of scheduling issues with the trip to Japan and a couple other trips in May, so I'm hoping that we can get things ironed out before they need it.
I'll bet you can.
Otherwise, they're just going to record it without me and say it's me, which is fine. Whatever.
This is Brian Abbott. He'll be speaking to you. Daryl, are you there? You're there. Hi.
I am here. Yes.
Sorry about the.
I've seen that Season 2 trailer.
Oh, have you now?
Really?
Yeah,
I have not seen it yet. Wow, how come you guys got exclusive first look there? That's pretty cool. Is it because you have a Star Trek show? Yeah, you're Trek nerd.
Duh.
Daryl, I got a call for you. We got to play this real quick. It's something to ask you about, okay? So here you go.
This is Bob from Centerville, Virginia. I'm calling about your the conversation you were having yesterday in regards to Star Trek and the fact that aliens use the same ranks that we do. I always kind of thought that was more, we created this universal translator that turned, you know, into captain, and into admiral. And for all we know, it could be chief belly scratcher, but somewhere, some translator person decided that was going to be captain. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate the show. Have a good one. Bye.
All right.
Hey, Scotty, what level are you at with these Sega
Why is that
games?
playing? Sorry, I don't know why that played.
It's a very good question.
Daryl, it's a good...
The first one is.
The first one is a good question. Do you suppose that's the thinking? Is that just the accepted deal that we've got the universal translators and everybody is just saying things that come out as the words we would translate them as?
Basically, yeah. Like if person A is in a power of superiority over person B, they must be a major.
Yeah.
Or an admiral. Or,
If you accept that, it's fine. I think that's an acceptable thing in that science fiction universe. My problem would be everyone's lips are speaking English. And that's always bugged me a little bit. So the universal translator makes sense as a translator, but what it should be is you talking and then a voice coming out of you that's not yours necessarily, but your lips aren't matching up, right?
Yeah, if we want to go into the editing bay for 10 years for a 5-minute segment where that's happening, I suppose.
I realize the practicality is suspect. I understand that. But I just think it's, I don't know. It's always bugged me. It's always irritated me. It's like, well, why even bother? Why don't we just say everyone knows English? Can't we just do that? Because everyone has accents, like some alien race. Captain, we are here to... It's like, the freaking weirdo aliens from Zontar 5 speak Russian or whatever.
Darmak enchilada tanagra.
See, and why didn't that work? Wasn't there... Did they explain why...
Why they actually heard, words like at?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were using the right words, but in a way where the translator wasn't set up.
So they got a hold of English, but they just didn't get a hold of the English...
the syntax.
So it'd be like somebody from like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels trying to talk to Siri, and it just couldn't make it out, right? Is that kind of what happened? Okay, Guy Ritchie movie translation.
Yes. Brad Pitt trying to talk to Siri.
Yeah, see, exactly, with that weird Irish thing he was doing.
Snatch, yeah, right.
All right, so there's that. Thanks for the call. Well, we like playing calls, and if they're about Star Trek, I'll play them at this part of the show. Daryl, we got a question for you. It's Star Trek related, of course. Today is Trivia Day, and it goes like this. This is all the homies. It's homies theme.
Oh, boy.
What quadrant do the Borg call home? I don't know that they ever went, yes, we call this our home. Like, I don't think they were that fond of... I don't think they thought of it the way we think of home. But anyway, whatever. What quadrant do they originate from, I suppose? Is it the alpha quadrant, beta quadrant, gamma quadrant, or delta quadrant? Those are your options. I have no memory of this, so I really don't know. It feels like they should have been from far away. That part I feel pretty good about. But we'll find out in time because Daryl will be thinking about it. He'll mull that around and then tell us. But before all that, how about some today in Star Trek history?
Oh, why, yes. On this day, next year, Star Trek Beyond will be out.
Hold on now.
Wow, really?
Hold on.
Yes.
Beyond is the new one?
Yeah.
The new one.
Okay.
How do you like that name, by the way? Because I know that just got kind of announced within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we really
I think
talked
it's
about
fine. It's great.
Star Trek Beyond.
Doesn't it make you think of like exploration, which is a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, because all the talk that we've heard has been, and some of this has been changed because they rewrote it a couple of times, but that they're not going to necessarily just pull up a bunch of fan service storylines and rehash them the way they have in the first two.
Right, that's good. I don't want the same stuff.
No, exactly. I mean, you've got this great property here. Start writing some great stories for it.
And have them do what Star Trek's known for, which was explore things that haven't been found yet.
Yeah, they rebooted so that in this alternate timeline so they could do anything they wanted. What do they do? They go redo old stuff.
Right.
If it's a Tribbles episode, you're in trouble.
I'm just bummed that there wasn't a Star Trek bed and a Star Trek bath before this one.
And beyond, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, those venerable prequels, they were amazing. Really good. That's where I can get my oil beads or whatever the hell they sell there. What do they sell there? What do they do at Bed Bath & Beyond? It's
They
just
sell housewares, kitchen stuff, well, stuff for your bedroom, your bathroom, and beyond.
And beyond? Oh, all right.
Yes.
Can I get
And if you believe your Adam Sandler movies, they also sell remote controls that can control your life.
Can I get a Cankle-gina or whatever it is?
A Cankle-gina. I like that even better than the Jankle.
The Jankle, whatever it was. All right, Daryl, let's get back to your question then. And I am excited about that movie. I just want to state that for the record. It'll be interesting to see what this new director does and the new writing. And I don't know. It's a chance to see, well, beyond what they've done before.
Yeah. But they only have 1 year, so I don't know if I'm worried or
it does seem kind of short.
Maybe it's going to force them to be super creative.
Well, they
So
only
it
have
could
one.
be good.
They only have 1 year, but they've been working on it since the end of the last one. So they've been at it for 2.5 years, right?
They kind of dumped the whole thing, so it's only been a few months that they've been working on it.
Oh, I didn't know
Because they
that.
scrapped the original.
The Robert Orsi one.
Right.
Oh, and then they went with Simon Pegg's deal, right? Yeah. Well, we'll see. Time will tell. Daryl, tell us what you think the answer is to this dumb question. Which quadrant did they come from? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta.
Epsilon, zeta, theta.
Robot
Kappa,
I'd never pass whatever quiz that is.
It is one of the best Futurama episodes ever, by the way. And for that matter, the one where Homer goes back to college to prank the dean there. It's almost identical story. Also very good. Anytime a cartoon makes reference to Animal House, it always works out well. It's for some reason, it's just gold. Anyway,
Totally.
Yeah. Sorry, Daryl.
Okay.
Deliberate.
Alpha is us, so that's not far away. This was... When did they say this? They didn't... They said this, I think, not in TNG. So that's why it doesn't sound that familiar. I think they said what quadrant it was in Voyager.
Every series after TNG had Borg in it, right? Didn't even Enterprise have some reference to it or some episode?
Yeah, I think there was some goofy thing with that. Yeah, that they were frozen in ice or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that it's Delta. And if I'm wrong, well...
Then strike you down where you stand. Well, let's find out. Is it Delta? Where's the... There you go. Is it Delta?
Congratulations.
It is.
You're a winner.
While seemingly half the Voyager episodes involve the Borg, we first meet them in the TNG second season episode Q Who, where Q tries to join the Enterprise crew, throws a fit when he's rejected, and space flings them into the Delta Quadrant where they run into the Borg for the first time. I've forgotten that it was that a-hole who got them all wrapped up in the Borg mess. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting, isn't it? Not a he, not a she. Not like anything you've ever seen. An enhanced humanoid.
Yeah, little do you know his hand's all gross and needs lotion. Daryl, good job. You nailed it. It seemed like it just...
It's clearly he and she Borgs, by the way. Shut up, Q.
They're totally he and she Borgs.
Yeah,
exactly. There's genders.
He Borg and she Borg.
Yeah, and eventually we saw Queen Borg.
That's right. Definitely a she Borg.
Yeah. Well, she was kind of neck and head Borg. And then put into body Borg.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She had a she head on she Borg.
She had Lady Lip Borg lips. Lady Borg lips. I'm going to start a band called Lady Borg Lips.
Yeah.
Daryl, good job. You've done it. Way to go. You've killed it this week so far. Nice job. 3 days in a row. Tomorrow we get a chance to finish it out with a perfect record during Homie Week. Daryl's the Trek Nerd on Twitter. You can also find him at This Week in Trek, thisweekintrek.com, and the Grumpy Cast. Daryl, play a game with us that we'll try to get right.
Okay. Is this a region of space in Star Trek or actual region on Mars?
All right, I like these. Although we've failed both times, but we like them.
Oh, there's no theme?
Oh, you want a theme? Here, wait. I'm going to give you a theme. Let's keep with in the mood for Kirk, so let's do... Here you go.
Nobody helps him!
There you go.
Cydonia.
All right, Brian, picture a NASA press conference, and they're talking. They're like, all right, so the rover, we've lost contact with the rover. It was last seen just as it was entering the Cydonia region of Mars. Okay, there's that. Now let's flip over to Star Trek.
They're from the Cydonia region.
That sounds right to me.
It does, but
I know we've been wrong every time.
We've been wrong both days, and we've said Mars both days. If we switch to Star Trek and it's Mars, we're really going to kick ourselves.
Yeah. You sure it's not a region in
China?
No.
I'm from the Cydonia region.
I don't know. I feel Star Trek on this one, but I don't want to. I feel completely inequipped to answer this, or ill-equipped.
Yeah, it does feel more like Star Trek, and maybe that's the layup.
All right, maybe. So Star Trek. I don't know. I'm going with you.
All right, we're gonna say Mars.
All right, we say Mars.
Okay, get out the telescope.
All right.
You're going to see a face, and that face is that weird face on Mars.
Oh,
you're right.
Brian.
That's the Cydonia face?
Is it?
That's the area where that face is.
Well, yeah, which we found like in other shots of Mars does not look anything like a face.
Nope, is pure circumstance, happenstance, angle, lighting, time of day, all that stuff.
Yep.
Like many dumb things. Jesus on your toast. That's a good example. I freaking hate that. People have Jesus on their toast.
Television highlights of the news of yesteryear.
It's the news brought to you by...
Have you heard? Podcasting is back. We're always looking for new ways to spread the word about the life-saving gifts of organ, tissue, and eye donation. Inspired by the morning stream and the Frog Pants family of shows, we decided to start our own podcast. The Gifted Life podcast will improve your knowledge about organ, tissue, and eye donation as we have entertaining and informative conversations about donation. Each episode will address donation in the news, myths about donation, what's new in the community, new technologies, special guest interviews, and much, much more. The Gifted Life is available on iTunes and other podcast apps, or you can find us at lopa.org/podcast.
Everybody should donate. Have a donor card. If I'm dead, I don't care. Take it.
I donated my liver yesterday. Yeah. I'm hoping to get it back sometime soon.
Well, hopefully it's not a heavy drinker. Oh, what's wrong with my headphones? There we go. All right, let's see if we can see the Virgin Mary in this article here. Donald Trump. You know Donald Trump? You familiar with his work?
I've heard of the guy.
Okay.
What's his favorite country again?
I had to ask him. Hold on. Here we go.
China.
And you know why it's his favorite? He travels there all the time because
I'm really rich.
He's super rich. He got a lot of money, and he's a bastard. All right.
I'm really rich.
Stupid.
Duh.
Stupid is right. All right.
Stupid.
All right, we got you there, buddy. Donald Trump pinatas are for sale in Mexico. This is after the inflammatory remarks that he made about immigrants. Dalton Ramirez, the artist responsible for the pinatas, and you have to click that link to see the photo.
I can't wait to see what this thing looks like.
It is a hoot.
I'll post a photo in the chat room.
Isn't that great?
Oh, I love that. I want one of those now.
It's pretty good. They said they are very popular with his customers, and many wish to bash Trump. U.S. has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems, Trump said during his presidential campaign announcement speech. When Mexico sends its people, they're not just sending their best, or they're not sending their best. They're not sending you... What? They're not sending you? I don't get it.
Hold on. I was too busy looking
No,
at
it's
the
okay.
photo.
The article's weird. They're sending people that have lots of problems. They're bringing those problems with us. That's a weird line, Donald Trump. They're bringing those problems with us. They are bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people.
I haven't met any personally, but I assume that some of them are good people.
Yeah, his whole thing.
Stupid.
For sure. Yeah. Anyway, they say they don't agree with his stuff, blah, blah, blah. And this guy decided to go ahead and make a sweet thing. And it's pretty good.
That is really good.
I kind of want one.
Yeah.
You know, just to hang
the
up.
whole mouth, like the whole. It's awesome.
And the attempt at the hair is pretty good. Like, it's just good. So you guys should check that out. If you're listening at home, just go Google it, and there it is.
It's full of quarters too when you hit that thing. So maybe he can get Paula Deen as his running mate.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
The Trump Dean ticket.
Sure. Oh man, imagine those debates.
Yeah.
Because they always do vice presidential debates.
They do, yes.
Or vice presidential candidate.
Our education problems could be solved if I deep fry them with
lots of butter and taters.
Lots of butter.
The new food pyramid. is just a big tater.
I would take our economy and I would just slather it with rich country gravy.
Yes, she would.
Yes, she would.
Everything is awesome, says this article. The Han Solo Star Wars anthology movie is coming.
Everything is awesome.
Let's see, a young Han Solo movie is not a bad idea.
That's not what they say.
They say it's a bad idea, but I disagree with it.
I disagree too.
So who better to direct it than a filmmaking duo that has a track record of turning bad ideas into great movies? Lucasfilm has announced that the Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street helmers Phil Lord and Chris Miller will take the helm of the untitled Star Wars anthology film focusing on the adventures of a young Han Solo, slated for release May 25th, 2018. The picture, see?
Mm-hmm.
Already has a screenplay. Wow, they called it The Picture.
The Picture.
Haven't heard that in a while. It's good to be in pictures. Has already a screenplay by the Empire Strikes Back writer and Star Wars Force Awakens co-writer Lawrence Kasdan, also director of Silverado. Worth seeing, everybody. And his son John Kasdan, who wrote and directed the indie drama Land of Women.
In the Land of Women.
In the Land of Women. Oh, I thought it meant he wrote and directed an indie drama in the Land of Women, like Amazon. For Snoo. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy will produce, while Kasdan will executive produce alongside Jason McGalton and Will Allegra as listed co-producer. Don't know who these people are. The story will focus on how a young Han Solo became a smuggler, thief, and scoundrel whom Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi first encountered in the cantina at Mos Eisley. So it's just all that stuff before that.
Let's hope that it's not super young Han Solo. Like it's, young Han Solo like in his 20s kind of thing.
Not like in his teens.
Right. I don't want it to be like the first few minutes of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where everything you know about Indiana Jones happened, like he develops every unique thing about him in the first 5 minutes, right? Or in the space of 5 minutes, where he gets hit with a whip in the chin and it gives him that scar, and he picks up a whip for the first time and gets a fedora and hates snakes.
Yep, all of it. All in the same train sequence.
All in the same train sequence. Like he was just a blank slate before that, and and this colored his whole life.
Yeah, Han Solo is just a piece of clay, and he's suddenly thrust into a Wookiee. Says, "Who's scruffy looking?"
That's right. This guy, he meets this Wookiee who gives him a leather vest.
Yeah. When he leaves home, his mom goes, "Honey, I love you," and he goes, "I know," and then leaves.
Right. Well, and then something like, "Hey, the odds of you coming back from this trip are going to be." Never tell me the odds. Oh, okay. Oh, I like that line. I think I'll use that for my whole life.
I love it. That'd be awesome. Or he's gonna be at dinner with his uncle, and he'll open up the food and go, "Oh, I thought these smelled bad on the outside." Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah,
they can't do that. Hopefully they don't.
So, have it leading up to his winning of the Millennium Falcon from Lando. Like have that Dom Jot game or whatever. What was it? It was.
Was it? What was that?
Equivalent of poker, but I can't remember what the.
Right.
I keep wanting to say Sarlacc, but I know it's not Sarlacc, but it's something like Sarlacc.
Something like that. Yeah. I can't remember. All right, you sir need to click the next link.
All right.
And enjoy the photo.
Am I going to actually see a Justin Bieber butt?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for Pete's sake!
And then you're going to see it being photoshopped 1,000 times, which is the best part about it.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Last night, Justin Bieber gave Instagrammers a belated Canada Day gift, his right and left butt cheeks. While vacationing in Bora Bora, Bieber tossed his Calvins and flashed his backside to a few friends on a boat, and then a few million more on Instagram. Bieber quickly took note and began furiously altering the photo. Or sorry, Beliebers. I just don't like saying it. Took note, began to Photoshop the hell out of it into hundreds of different memes, from a supersized butt to Kim Kardashian, butt. Goes on and on and on. There's some really good ones in there. Totally worth checking those out.
I like the Inception style, sticking his finger into the butt of the finger of the butt, like
yeah, just butt. There's got to be a billion of these somewhere. Someone's got a Reddit page somewhere that's just
I'm hoping there's some better ones than these. The SpongeBob one I think is the best.
Yeah, that one's all right. I don't understand why the chalk art one is happening.
No, either.
Yeah, it's just whatever. That Bieber.
Yeah.
Bieber, what are you doing, buddy? That's what people do.
How cheeky of you, Bieber.
Yeah, with his wiener hanging out in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
finally, in some additional or some more Star Wars news here.
Okay, it was a little Star Wars Bieber sandwich is what that was.
Rogue One, which is the first anthology movie we're getting, which is supposed to be out next year. Okay, so 2016's Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One, originally penned by Gary Whitta, then changed by somebody else, and now I don't know who's doing it. And I think a new director, or maybe I'm thinking of the next movie got a new director. I don't remember. Whatever. Darth Vader could appear in it.
Wow. I think at this point, and I'm guessing that there's somebody's already put this together, but I think we need to see a timeline, a movie timeline thing that shows all of the announced movies. I mean, obviously we know the prequels, right? We know where all that stuff is going to fit.
Sure.
But where is Rogue One going to fit in things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't know.
Because that's before, right? It's
now all set right. It's set after the events of the final, or it's after the events of Return of the Jedi. So that happened.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then this stuff happens.
No, Force Awakens is after the events of Return of the Jedi.
You're totally right. Hold on. Yeah. This is before the destruction of the Death Star, because the storyline is that this is a group of commando-type units who are sent in by the rebels to try to take down the Death Star or get secret plans to it or something.
Right.
So you're right. It's before Episode 4.
Yeah, we need the... I'm sure there has to be something that somebody's already put together that says, all right, yeah, here's... and I keep finding stuff like the timeline that the movies are going to be released.
Mm-hmm.
But I want something that says, all right, yeah, here, this movie's going to take place before Return of the Jedi. This one's going to take place between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Probably some wiki somewhere so far.
Yeah. I still want a movie. I still want Shadow of the Empire. I still want that movie that takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Was that it was a video game, wasn't
it? It was a video game. It was a novel.
Right. It was an N64 game, I think.
It was, yeah. I remember the level where you had to you're controlling Dash Rendar and having him jump from train car to train car to get to the front of the train on I think it was Tatooine or something.
And at the time it looked really nice.
Yeah.
Like it was supposed to be a big graphical showcase. What was it called again?
Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire. Just want to see a
so we've got
screenshot.
Force Awakens, Rogue One, Episode 8 and 9, Kenobi.
Oh, it looks like garbage, dude. You should see this game now.
Really?
Oh, jeez. Here, let me share this with you.
All right.
You know, we were so excited about 3D. Here, it's in the chat.
Okay.
But we just didn't know. We didn't know what we were doing. That looks bad.
It does look bad.
Here's an even worse one. Here's a bigger one. That one's tiny.
Oh my God!
How
Look
about
at
this
that.
one? Look at this one. It's bad.
But yeah, at the time, it was great.
Oh, at the time, our minds were being blown.
It was what we needed. Yeah, this whole first-person thing.
Yeah.
You know which game I really liked was the one with the stormtroopers. It was a first-person shooter, kind of like Doom.
Oh, Star Wars Knights or not? No, shite. I played them all.
Yeah,
the old one that was based on the Doom engine, and then or some engine like that, or maybe it was the
right.
It may have been the Duke Nukem engine, but it was. And then later they did like a polygonal one for the sequel.
Dark
Forces, amazing series. Yeah, Dark Forces.
I bet that
so
looks like
good
crap now too.
Yeah, but it was so fun at the time. Here, let's take a look. Yeah, I mean it's doomy.
Yeah. It's totally doomy.
Like here's
you have to fight Ugnaughts.
Yeah. Those are the days. There's your doomy image right there, chat room.
Oh my gosh.
The first one anyway. The second one was more Quake-ish.
There's your doomy image.
Yep.
Chat room.
And here's your more Quakey image. This is the sequel, which was polygonal, but everybody was made of like 3 polygons. But whatever, we didn't care. It was
Still
great.
had the Space Troopers, like it was the first appearance of the Space Troopers.
That's right.
I think.
I'm going to post an image now to the chat room that I just want to say, look how far we've come. Okay? So here you go. This is from that sequel. That's a dude in the game.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
He looks just as surprised to look like that as...
That is some raunchy business, dude.
Where's my ears?
That is really bad.
My head is made up of 6 sides.
Yeah. That is really, really bad.
It's really bad.
All right. Well, hey, 96 or so, whatever it was. So that was the time. That was the day.
Jeez.
And I remember my computer really struggled with it. It was having a hard time running.
The music video for Money for Nothing by Dire Straits looks better than that. And that came out like 5-10 years before this.
That's a good point. Boy, that doesn't hold up either. Watch it now. Ooh.
Oh, I'm sure.
Boo.
It's that whole dactyl nightmare looking, 3D.
It's pretty bad. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have our friends Nicole here and Tom. Nicole's recommendals today are going to be way fun. I like our theme. Before all of that, Brian brung some music, and he would like to tell us what it is now.
I did. So as I mentioned on yesterday's show, Monday night, I went to see Elvis Costello and Steely Dan perform at Red Rocks. It was a great show, and it put me in the mood for Steely Dan covers, and so I listened to a bunch of them Tuesday, all day yesterday, and decided, you know what? I'm going to throw one into the request list for myself. We're going to play a cover of the Steely Dan song Reelin' in the Years. This was arguably one of their biggest hits. I'd say Ricky Don't Lose That Number, Do It Again, and Reelin' in the Years had to be like three of their biggest hits. And the argument that some people have about Steely Dan is that their music is too jazzy and too you can't connect with it. I don't know what the unattainable, I guess, or
really? That's weird. They were popular. I don't know why people think
they're really popular. Tina can't stand them.
Really? She didn't go to the concert with you.
She didn't go to the concert. Oh no. Yeah, she didn't. And I keep trying to convert her. I keep trying to say, oh, come on, listen to this, because I love Steely Dan. And so it's really hard for me to have something that I really, really enjoy and have her not like it at all. Yeah. So this is one of those songs that kind of helps bridge that gap for people who don't care for Steely Dan. I think they'll enjoy this. Me, Myself, and Irene, the movie, the Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was originally intended to be an all Steely Dan cover album. And so 90% of it is Steely Dan covers. Ben Folds 5 has stuff on there. Smash Mouth.
Sure.
That's a great band name.
Yeah.
Smash Mouth is on there with a cover of Do It Again. And the Marvelous Three contributed this awesome cover of Reelin' in the Years. And I think people will really enjoy this. Reelin' in the Years by Marvelous Three.
Can't understand.
The Disappearing Burgers with Ronald McDonald and Friends.
Wow, Hamburglar has a magic kit.
Ooh, ooh.
Ah, magic. Rubble, 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 cadabra.
I should have known you'd have something like that up your sleeve.
Rubble, rubble.
Oh, God.
Oh, mine.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oops.
Now for a little trick
Rubble, rubble.
we can all enjoy.
Our hamburgers!
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Eat the noodles.
This is the morning stream. Hold on to your butts.
This clip, by the way, right here,
Eat the noodles.
Eat the Noodles, is Victoria Jackson from the never aired, failed Walter pilot.
Oh, really?
I watched the whole
The
thing.
noodle.
It's not good. It's real bad. There was nothing good about it.
Wow.
And I try to be, open-minded guy about stuff, but man, there's a reason they did not make that show. It was garbage.
Wow.
Here's another line.
I'm not the dashing type.
I'm not the dashing type, says Radar. How about this one?
So, how do I look? Like a rookie? I hope not.
Like a rookie, I hope not. I
Anyway,
forgot everything I learned on MASH.
it really wasn't good. It was super bad.
Sorry, Larry Gerald-Part.
Yeah, sorry, Betty. I don't know who made those shows. Was it those guys trying to recamp? I don't know if it was the same producers. I wonder.
No, I don't know who it was.
Weird. Anyway, we're back. We're doing it. We're here. We got stuff to do. Sorry, I just got this really angry email. I'm gonna have to close that for now. Don't want to read that right now. Jeez, why do I want to read an angry email while I'm on the air? I don't want to do that.
You so don't want to do that.
No, I don't. But I do want to call Nicole and do this thing we're gonna do, which is called Recommendals, and we have even a new little theme for her when she comes on.
Awesome.
And, yeah, I'm very excited. Well, you know what it is.
I hope she answers at some
I do
point.
too. Yeah, right? I mean, that would be the important thing. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice?
Oh.
Cute little intro for Nicole.
My dad used to play me that song.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, we didn't know we would be tapping into some old memories.
I grew up listening to that song.
Oh, weird. All right. Well, don't listen. It's all happy thoughts. Everything's
Who's the
good.
band? Do you know the
I have
band?
no idea. Brian knows them.
I know the band. I can tell you the
Point
band.
Blank.
Was it
There
Point
you go.
Blank? All right. What
Named
are they-
after the great movie starring
Point Blank.
Steven
That's
Seagal.
Point.
Oh, you're thinking of
I
Point
thought you were
Break,
going to say Point
No, not
Break.
the Keanu Reeves. No, the Point Blank movie. Wasn't that
I'm
Steven
a freaking
Seagal?
FBI agent.
I don't remember.
Oh
Hold
no,
on.
Lee Marvin. Oh, I'm thinking of something. I was thinking of something more recent than.
So Point Blank is a band. I'm just looking here. Are they doing anything else? Active from 74 says that they're still doing it. Still making
Mickey
it.
Rourke was the star of Point Blank, 1998. Okay.
Their biggest hit, Nicole, 1982.
Yep.
There
Their
you go.
only hit.
I like it. All right, Daryl. Nicole.
What?
I called you Daryl.
Oh, we got some problems.
Got some problems today. It's Recommendals. It's time for us to do recommended movies that we've seen on streaming services and various things, movies, TV shows, whatever. We alwa's have a theme. I love today's theme.
Because you picked it,
yeah.
and then forgot about it,
Then
and then
forgot.
had Brian text me to tell you what
Well,
it was.
here's the funny thing.
Yeah, let's tell the real story here.
Let's tell the real story.
Oh, you
I forgot, and I was blaming Scott, and I thought I was being very obvious about that, where I said
no.
"Oh yeah, that's the one." I mean, of course I remember. I'll pass that along to Scott.
Yeah. Now let me add a layer of irony to it. I also forgot, and so I asked Brian this morning. So together we forgot together, except Nicole. She always remembers things.
That's right.
It's Ron Perlman movies.
Yes.
Or TV shows or whatever.
Inspired by last week's
Yeah.
movie that I recommended.
And by a real story. Ron Perlman, a favorite character actor of mine, and I think all of us like him. Interesting dude, shows up in tons of things.
He's done some questionable movies
Oh,
throughout
for sure.
his career.
Yeah, many bad movies. I think he's a guy that seems to be willing to take the job, right?
Yeah.
Well, he has 211 acting credits on IMDb. And sadly, only 9 movies are streaming on Netflix.
Yeah.
You did not check Amazon Prime.
Oh, I didn't
did.
think
I only
about
found
that.
4 additional ones. None of them were the one I really wanted to see on there.
Yeah. So none of them were Hellboy is the main thing, right?
Yeah, Hellboy is in the
was
list.
on there? Okay.
It was on, that's streaming on Netflix.
Well, guess
and
what
Hellboy 2, I think, is streaming on Amazon Prime.
Well, so just so everyone knows, I did not pick Hellboy. So I didn't just give away what I picked.
We've already done that one in the past.
Yeah.
We have, yeah. I was really hoping that Alien Resurrection would be streaming on one of those two
Alien
services.
4, dude. Written by Joss Whedon.
Yes.
People forget about that. All right. Well, let's start with Brian's. I'm going to play a clip, and people will have to guess what this is. And if you can, great. Here's Brian's. Here you go.
14 years ago, 2001, A Space Odyssey was the astounding epic that aroused a generation, telling them where they might be headed. Now, 20th Century Fox presents a science fantasy adventure that will arouse this generation, telling us where we might have begun.
I have no freaking idea. That's the worst intro ever because he said the same thing twice.
Yeah.
I've heard this intro before.
Now this movie will arouse a generation and do the exact same thing.
Let me give you another hint. I picked the trailer because...
Is it musical?
It is not.
Oh.
I picked the trailer because it contains words. It contains the English language.
Oh.
However, the movie itself contains no words, no English language.
No talking at all, or is it all a different language?
It's all a different language, but not a language that's spoken anywhere.
Is this like the caveman one?
It is the caveman
with what's Daryl Hannah?
No, you're thinking Clan of the Cave Bear, but you're exactly right. I actually confused the two as well. I confused this movie and Clan of the Cave Bear. The movie is Quest for Fire.
Oh, Quest for Fire!
Which came out in 1981. It's there's grunting. There's people that look a lot like Will Ferrell and Ben Stiller in this movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
There's people with a lot of prosthetics on their faces. However, Ron Perlman can play caveman without any makeup.
Yeah, he's a good caveman.
This was his first movie. He did Ryan's Hope in 1979 and then did Quest for Fire in 1981. Also stars Radon Chong and a lot of nudity. Lots and lots of snoo-snoo.
Yeah, much snoo-snoo. Everyone's doing it like rabbits. I have a very distinct memory of this. I saw it when I was older. It was on tape probably with a friend or something. And there was a scene I've never been able to scrub from my brain.
Which one
is it? And I hope I even remember it right, but it's just so horrible in my head. There was a scene, it may have even been Perlman, I don't know, but there was a scene of some doing it, okay? And it was some lady that was being, she was receiving.
Was she being passed around?
No, it wasn't like that.
I think that was the other one.
It may have been, yeah.
But
I have a very similar, and my mom's like, "Oh no, you can't watch this."
Yeah. She was right to say it. But the scene ended with the one caveman killing the lady while in the act.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't this movie.
Are you
I actually
sure?
watched the whole thing last night. Quest for Fire, because
oh my gosh,
it was shortly after I texted Nicole and I was like, all right, well, I could do Hellboy. I guess I could do well, I won't say the other ones in case you guys pick them, but I decided, I haven't seen Quest for Fire since the 80s and with Daryl Hannah and all that, and it turned out that again I was also thinking of Clan of the Cave Bear. So I don't know if I ever saw Quest for Fire, but I do remember it being kind of on that taboo list, oh yeah, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of nudity, there's a lot of doing it.
Yeah,
like the one movie with the Cosby Kid.
Oh
yes, you're not talking
something
about
Heart.
Yeah,
that was
you're talking about Angel Heart.
Yeah.
That was
Brian
another
loves
one
it.
that you're just like, oh, I hear it's like.
Brian loves when we bring that movie up.
College.
Yeah.
And that is one of my favorite movies, not because of the sex, but because of, at the time, the brilliant twist.
I think it's because a Cosby Kid had a gun in her choo-choo.
Oh, good Lord.
That's what happened.
You never even see that happen.
I've never watched it.
You got to see it. I think it's a really good movie to see, and as soon as it's streaming on Netflix, it's going to be a film sack.
Without a doubt. It's one of those legendary ones we keep talking about.
Great white whale of
for sure.
Mickey Rourkedom.
So nobody dies during the doing it then.
Nobody dies during the doing it. There's some weird. I mean, you watch this, and it almost begs for a Wayne and Garth style commentary, like, "Oh, time to kick her to the curb," stuff like that. That you're watching this thing and want to give them kind of new language commentary.
Yeah.
But I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, this was I remember there being some Academy Award business with this. Apparently, it only won for makeup, as did Clan of the Cave Bear 7 years later. But yeah, I confused this movie and Clan of the Cave Bear as well, but not Caveman with Ringo Starr.
No,
those I was able to keep kind of separate.
Yeah, that one has
And
the
the
horrible
Geico
bug.
commercials.
That
Totally-
bug.
totally separate.
Yeah, not a problem. Those are not the same.
For the plot line, that's pretty simple. This group of cavemen, there's some Neanderthals and there's also some Cro-Magnons, are kind of maintaining this fire that was started by a lightning hitting a tree or something, and they kind of keep it alive in this little built cage that they use to light bonfires and things like that. So they've got this fire that they kind of keep precious, and it goes out. And so they send out these three guys. Ron Perlman is one of these three guys to go out and get more fire, because there are other kind of tribes that also have this fire, and so they have to go and get it from these other violent tribes. It is a very violent movie. I think it's actually still kind of good. You'll have a problem with the woolly mammoths because they look like Snuffleupagus.
Oh, great.
Like the same techniques used to do Snuffleupagus were used to make the woolly mammoths in this movie, but everything else I actually kind of enjoyed it.
All right. Well, maybe I'll have to check that out again.
You have to check it out. It's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Now I'm bugged about what thing I actually saw that showed me that horrible. I thought it was that.
I'm guessing it was probably Clan of the Cave Bear.
I could have been. See, yeah, and I keep
That was
thinking.
violent, too.
I still keep thinking Daryl Hannah as you've been speaking this whole time. It's really
Rae
weird.
Dawn Chong is the female lead in this film, and it's a weird role for her too. I mean, you wouldn't Ron Perlman you can pretty much recognize instantly, but Rae Dawn Chong you don't recognize.
Rae Dawn Chong, daughter of Tommy Chong, right?
Tommy Chong, yep, and she was in one of the Schwarzenegger movies.
Soul Man. She was in Soul Man.
She was in Soul Man. Commando. Commando was her.
Oh, right.
Schwarzenegger,
That's right. We
connection.
saw that for Film Tech. All right. Well, I'm going to play a clip from mine. See if you guys can get it. Another Ron Perlman movie. Also a movie I really like. So here's just a taste.
Shinzon of Remus is offering us a chance to make ourselves stronger than ever before. It would be madness to reject it. I beg you not to let prejudice or politics interfere with this alliance.
That's enough. The decision has been made.
Any ideas?
I know it, but only because we talked a little bit about this morning.
Yeah, where you were basically trying to hint which things you didn't use.
Right, exactly.
So
in
that
case
I
you
didn't
wanted to just grab one I knew you'd seen.
Yeah. So I think Brian knows it. Nicole, any
I don't
ideas?
know it. No.
It is Star Trek Nemesis. He is this Shinzon of Remus character is played by Tom Hardy's first film role.
Yeah, little bald Tom Hardy.
Skinny Tom Hardy, yeah. Came out in what, 2002 was it, or one? Whatever it was.
2002.
The last Next Generation movie. It came out the week before one of the Lord of the Rings movies came out and got creamed as a result. But I think it's one of the better Star Trek films. I really like it. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I think it's great. And I love Tom Hardy's character. Tom Hardy's basically a clone of Picard and goes a very different path. And Picard and crew have to kind of figure out what to do in the whole mess. And it also features the marriage of Deanna Troi and Riker.
Troi.
Yep. So it's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
And Wesley's there for about 5 seconds, but never says a word.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the beginning scene. Apparently had
that's
lines,
funny.
but they got cut, according to Will Wheaton. But anyway.
Oh, man.
Anyway, bottom line, what was I going to say about it? Oh, so Ron Perlman, where he comes in, he's like the viceroy or the second in command kind of main henchman of Tom Hardy's character, and he's this big alien creature with tons of makeup on and prosthetics, and they live like on the dark side of this weird asteroid planet, and they don't like the sun, and they're always kind of hiding in the dark. And he can do this telepathic thing with Hardy by putting his hands on his head or shoulders or something, I can't remember, and kind of calm his mind or feed thoughts to him or something kind of Vulcan style. And he's super rad and totally cool, and that's one of my favorite things he ever did. So there's that.
Doesn't this also feature... It's funny, I'm seeing in the trivia, Kate Mulgrew as Admiral Janeway.
Yeah.
So this takes place after Voyager makes it back to Earth, and she's the one who sends Picard out to Romulus.
Correct, and it's a very brief moment with her on a teleprompter call. But
interesting.
But it does feature her. Yeah, they had some nice tie-ins that way for sure.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And I want to say DS9 was long over, so Worf was back.
Mm-hmm. But no mention, no DS9 connection.
I don't think so. I'm trying
That's
to
a
remember
bummer.
now. It's been a while since I've seen it. I need to watch it again. It also featured just a really cool ship. The Remus ship was just insanely cool. And I like that movie a lot. I think people, for whatever reason, have just kind of said, whatever, it's a dumb one, or that was the end of that run, and who cares? But I think it's totally worth watching, and again, a high point in the series. I think it's better than most of the Next Generation movies. I think that between that and First Contact, those are the best two. The rest of them kind of pale in comparison. So
interesting.
So there's that.
And this more trivia says that one of the ships that the Enterprise was to rendezvous with was the USS Archer, named after the character in Star Trek Enterprise.
Which was still going then, so that makes sense. I'd try to tie that in.
Not the TV show?
Yeah.
The TV show, yeah. Interesting.
The Archer TV show.
Archer.
Archer TV show. Yes, that's when Picard goes, danger zone.
John J. Benjamin is the captain. That'd be amazing. All right, Nicole, it is your turn.
Yes.
What do you got there?
I don't have a clip.
Okay.
All right.
But I'm going to give you a couple of the actors that are in this movie. One, of course, being Ron Perlman.
Oh, good.
And the other one being Charlie, I'm going to mispronounce his last name. Hunnam? Is that right?
Hunnam?
Hunnam. Okay.
Hunnam.
Sure.
So do you know that name, Charlie Hunnam?
Yes, of course. I know this thing that you're talking about.
Hold on. Keep giving me hints. I want to get this.
Because I watched a little bit of this.
You did.
I did, finally.
So Lizzie Kaplan is in it as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I haven't gotten to her yet.
Chris North from
Noth?
Sex and the City fame, Mr. Big.
Okay. Then in that case, I think I'm completely thinking of something different.
I think it's Chris Noth, right? N-O-T.
You thought I was going to say Sons of Anarchy.
Is it North or Noth?
Exactly what I thought you were going to say. Noth. Chris Noth was Mr. Big.
Yeah.
So we talked about Sons of Anarchy last week.
Yeah.
I have not watched Sons of Anarchy. Mark is in season. What season are you in? 5.
Whoa.
He just started last week. 5. He's just watching this show every single night.
It's good.
So when I found this streaming on Amazon Prime, it's only on Amazon Prime, not on Netflix.
You sure about that?
What's that?
Are you sure about that show not being on Netflix? I think it is.
No. I'm not talking about.
I'm
not talking about Sons of Anarchy.
Okay,
I'm talking about the movie that I found called 3-2-1 Frankie Goes Boom.
What the hell is that?
Or it's a Frankie Go Boom.
Don't know what that is.
It is a comedy.
Okay.
Of course, starring Ron Perlman and this Charlie Hunnam guy. Nor Dunn is in it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of actors, good actors. Chris O'Dowd from Bridesmaids.
O'Dowd. Yeah.
O'Dowd.
Just saw him in Pirate Radio.
Yeah, he's good.
He's fantastic.
He's the IT crowd guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Whitney Cummings is in it as well. There's a cameo from one of my favorite shows that was taken off the air, Happy Endings.
Oh.
He was the gay guy in Happy Endings.
Right.
And
you were sad. I remember when that show went away. You were super sad about that.
I was super sad about it. I love that show. But yeah, it's raunchy.
1, 2, 3, Frankie Go Boom.
It's
3, 2, 1,
raunchy.
Frankie Go Boom.
It's about Charlie Hunnam's character. I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong. Hunnam?
Charlie Hunnam.
Hunnam.
He's one of the main nice guys in Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the main guy, right?
He's the main guy. Yeah, he's the main, right.
He was in Pacific Rim, for those who don't know who that is. That's the main guy in Pacific Rim.
Right.
Yeah.
So him and his brother Bruce, which is played by Chris O'Dowd, they have a rough relationship.
Okay.
His brother Bruce likes to film him all the time, and it's just, in the age of the internet, he uploads a video and it's not a good video. So you kind of are slowly piecing this relationship as you're watching the movie, and kind of just, I don't know, seeing Charlie in that. It's weird because Mark's like, I'm used to seeing him in, the Sons of Anarchy role where he's kind of like he's in charge, right?
Does he have his accent in this thing? Does he?
No,
Okay.
he takes away his accent.
All right.
Because it's Australian, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's Australian.
Yeah.
Chris
and-
O'Dowd or Charlie?
Charlie.
Well, both of them
Charlie
don't have
Hunnam.
accents. Both of them have accents, and neither one.
Chris O'Dowd, I think, is
Irish.
Irish.
Scottish?
Irish.
Yeah, something like that.
He's
but they
Ir-
live
he's
in
Irish.
California.
So when he so he hides his Irish accent, I would love to hear that.
Both of them hide their accents.
Weird.
In this,
Okay.
In this movie.
All right.
Yeah,
They're
he
both
didn't even
living
hide
in
it in Bridesmaids.
And Chris North.
Noth.
By the way, Chris
Is it
Noth.
Noth? I thought it
It
was
is
North.
Noth. No, it's Chris Noth, and you've
Oh,
got to
yeah,
look at the
there's
guy's
no R.
IMDb. You got to look at the guy's IMDb photo. I'm putting Skype for you.
Who?
Oh, I saw that.
Chris Noth?
Chris Noth.
No
yes.
way, dude. All right.
Yes.
It's all like crazy looking.
It's like this is what you wake up to when you go to
And
bed with Chris
he is
Noth.
a little off in this movie too. He plays a
Oh, jeez.
a TV star that went to rehab, and he's just outlandish, and that's how he meets Bruce. And Bruce is an aspiring director, and who films his brother, and his parts of his life that he wishes weren't filmed. And it's raunchy, it's funny, it's stupid, and then of course Ron Perlman is in it, and I don't want to tell you about his role because it's part of the funny.
It's part of the awesome, eh?
Yeah, just the interaction between his character and the main character, and how if you watch Sons of Anarchy, it's really weird to see them in this kind of role.
Oh wow.
But it's a funny movie. Mark and I laughed quite a bit.
This looks great. Yeah, I'm looking at the IMDb profile for it. This looks.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there are worse things to do with 2 hours. I'll watch that. I'll
So
take
yeah,
your
it's
word
all
on it.
about what happened. What really happens? There's a sex tape, and they're trying to get the sex tape back. And
Like the movie Sex Tape. It's like that one.
Right, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I really it surprised me. Oh, it came out in 2012.
All right,
So
that's
a
not
few
too
years
long
ago.
ago.
So it's not too long ago.
Cool.
So yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it there.
Well, all hail Ron Perlman. He's the man. Yeah.
The interesting thing about this movie, I did not realize all of the movies that Charlie Hunnam had been in.
No, he's busy. He was
And-
almost Christian, the Christian Grey guy, the Shades, 50
He
Shades
was
of Grey.
almost, but he didn't.
Yeah, he turned
But
it down.
He was the cousin in Green Street Hooligans.
Mm-hmm.
He was the psycho guy in Cold Mountain, which he was like an albino. He played albino.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even realize that was him.
Yeah, no, he's been around.
He's been in so much that I don't know. He's just been kind of.
He's a sexy man.
He's a sexy man.
And
He's very youthful.
He's
looking.
in your Pacific Rim 2 as well, so there's that. He'll
I
make.
thought he was in the first one.
He was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either.
He's coming back. It's not very good. I didn't like it.
Oh.
Everyone loves it. I don't like it. I don't know what my problem is. I didn't think that movie was any good at all.
Robot Godzilla, isn't it?
Which also had Ron Perlman in it.
Gaijus.
ironically. Totally Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman shows up in everyone's movies. It's pretty much just the way it is.
You know, when you've got 200 movies under your belt, 200 plus movies, you
I guess
pretty
so.
much appear in everything.
Nicole, what's our theme next week? What are we doing?
Next week's theme looks like
I'm writing this one down.
Why don't you just tell us? Why don't you just tell us Tuesday?
Abby.
No, tell me now. I want to know. I'm going to write it
So-
down.
Abby Geek submitted movies with a water theme.
What? Wait a minute. Is Waterworld off the table? I can't
I know,
do it,
there's
can
like
I?
one movie. No, there's other movies.
Because I love Waterworld.
I know you do.
It's not fair for me to use that
I
one.
like it too.
Are they movies that have to have water themes used as symbolism, or can they be any?
I think if there's water in the movie, you can.
Hey, Brian, rewatch Minority Report. I hear there's water in it.
There we go. Written down on my sticky note, which I will stick to my monitor so I do not
Freaking
forget.
Freaking Dunaway and his water symbols. All right, that's
I
a good
am
idea.
interested in the Minority Report TV show that's going to be coming out.
I am too. It looks decent. I don't know.
Most people are.
Yeah, I think people generally are.
Dunaway is not.
Most people are honestly excited about it because it looks like it actually will do a nice job of what it needs to do. But Dunaway won't see it purely on principle because he hates the movie so much.
He likes to stand for something.
I would love to poke him in the chest with a puke stick. That's what I'd like to do. All right, Nicole. Always fun, always good.
I got one more thing.
Oh, what do you got?
Hey, if you're going to Nerdtacular,
Yeah.
download the app.
Yeah.
tinyurl.com/Nerdtacular. The schedule is up.
Yep. It's also linked
There
on
you-
the webpage. If you go to
Yep, it's on the
nerdtacular.com,
webpage.
get it, go, have it, be it,
And
live it.
I don't
That'll
know
help
why.
you schedule so you can see all the things you want to see.
Uh-huh.
And I will not be there. I know. I don't think I ever really officially announced that, but Mark and I won't be there this time because of the pregnancy.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, I'm
big
bummed
baby
about
stuff
that.
happening. We are bummed about that.
I'll be watching
Yeah.
on the stream.
We'll miss you. We'll make a little fun reference. Don't you worry. Don't you
want
worry.
to come? You want to come watch my house? House sit for me while we go.
You still looking for house sitters there, Brian? I thought you were gonna. Oh, maybe you thought better of it. I thought you were having Tristan watch the house or something.
Tristan's coming with us to Nerdtacular.
Oh, he is coming.
He's
Oh,
the scorekeeper.
I could have sworn he wasn't coming for some reason. Why did I think that?
Oh, you know what's funny is
I thought you told me that.
Corinne said the same thing. She said she didn't think Tristan was coming.
No,
so.
I could have sworn you told me that, but maybe I'm.
No, you're imagining.
Well, that's
things,
exciting.
Coach.
We love it. That's great because
Ah.
the tradition of the Carter Tristan scorekeeping has to continue.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who else is going to do that? All right.
Nobody.
Nicole Spag on Twitter. Nicole's always up to
me.
great stuff. Woodwhisperer.com for more of what Mark and her are up to. Stay out of trouble. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
See ya.
Ron Perlman permitting.
There you go. Just downloaded the app.
All right.
Boom.
Good job, man. All right. Well, there you go. Let's get the old ace detect in here.
Thomas
P. Meritus.
Thomas Lynn Merritt.
Lynn, is it Lynn now? Is that what we're going with?
Thomas Ann Merritt.
Hold on. Here's this thing.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
That man is Tom Merritt. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
The reference is because we always refer to Veronica with her middle name for no reason.
Veronica Ann
middle
Belmont.
Yeah. So we
is Trouble.
Trouble. T for trouble.
Yeah, there was a lot of discussion in the chat room whether her Ann ended with an E or not on Monday during DTNS. So,
and what was the result? Did we find out?
No E.
No E. Okay.
No E. Eileen has all the E's.
Yeah, Eileen stole the
there's none
E's.
left for Veronica.
She's holding them for dear life.
And my middle name is Andrew.
Oh,
really?
Hey.
I was going to say it was Danger.
It's also Danger.
Tom D. Merritt.
Totally is Danger.
That's
I
right.
was just kidding about Andrew. My middle name is Danger.
That's right. Tom Merritt is here. DTNS's own Tom Merritt here to talk about technology.
Probably the last time I'll be here, Scott, as the internet is collapsing.
Yep, we're done. It's out. Everything's falling apart.
United Airlines couldn't book some flight plans for a couple hours this morning. New York Stock Exchange has stopped trading. One of the premier law enforcement surveillance hacking companies' hacking team got hacked. It's all over.
What is happening exactly? It seems like things are a little nuts today, technology-wise. Microsoft fired everybody. Like, it's just kind of insane.
I'm not a science practitioner, Scott, but I believe what it is called, it's a very technical term that I don't fully understand, coincidence.
Oh,
This isn't General Zod taking over the world's
It
finances
comes
or anything
from
like that?
which means things happening together, and incidents, which is things happening.
Well, how come all the TVs have a voice saying, "Take back your city, New York"? How come that's happening? That's weird.
See, I don't watch TV. I missed that.
That's pretty coincidental, I'd say.
That's just a coincidence too. Everyone's running The Dark Knight.
Do you know why did they shut down the stock market? This is actually, I'm just hearing this news. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that was
no,
happening.
this just happened a couple hours ago, or even just about an hour ago. They say it was a bad gateway. Ever got that loading page gateway error?
Yeah.
Misconfigured gateway? I don't know if it has to do with that. No, they aren't really saying much. There's an off-the-record source from Homeland Security that Bloomberg quoted saying it's not a hack.
Okay.
They don't believe it's a hack. And it's not the first time it's ever happened. It happened in 2013 to multiple stock exchanges because of a breakdown, a little glitch in some communication software. And the other thing to keep in mind is just because the New York Stock Exchange has halted trading on its floor, stocks are still trading all over the place. They don't only trade on the New York Stock Exchange. In fact, the New York Stock Exchange keeps track of stocks being traded at other markets in other places. I think there's like 50 markets in the United States. So stocks are still trading. It's a little sluggish, I guess, right now when you have the biggest floor shut down for a while.
Sure.
But my guess is, hey, I could be that clip in the post-apocalyptic movie of the guy saying, "Don't worry, everything's fine," and then the next clip is fires and explosions. But I do think this is just a really weird coincidence.
It's hard. It's easy for people to hear the headline though and get the hyperbole and go, oh no, it's as if the power has gone out in a way, right? Like this is the end times or whatever, because that should never go down. But like you say, these things are. I guess China's stock market took a real poo. I wonder if
China's stock market has been falling for a little bit now, for a couple weeks now, and China's been putting in controls to try to stop the fall. And some people are saying that China's government putting in the controls is making people panic because they're like, well, if the government's putting in controls, it must really be bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, Greece is having issues. Might leave the euro. There's it's pick any moment in history, Scott.
Okay.
There's always a bunch of really bad things.
I'm going to pick one. The night Who's the Boss premiered with Tony, what's his name? What happened around that?
Well, when did Who's the Boss premiere?
I don't remember.
September 20th, 1984.
Okay.
I'm glad you have that at the tip.
Wow.
I'm glad that Google, which can't answer things like, what's the airport in Boise, can immediately, September 20th, 1984. Got Who's the Boss premiere.
That actually brings up a thing that I want to, it's probably a current geek topic. One of these days we should talk about it. But there is this feeling I've had lately. And
there was a disaster. I'm sorry, Scott. I'll let you finish in a second.
Right,
there was a disaster on September 20th, 1984.
What was it?
The Cosby Show premiered.
Wow, Cosby Show and Who's the Boss same night?
As a disaster at the time. It was a big hit.
No, we all thought things were great, but then
and
now
the Cubs broke 2 million in home attendance. Yeah.
See? Wow. But here's the thing. Like, I
go.
feel like we as a people, we have valued so many trivial things that we are getting to the point where it's all about trivia about when Who's the Boss premiered and whether or not Justin Bieber's butt was hanging out on vacation and these sorts of things that if we were to just collapse today, everything would just die today. Future anthropologists would dig up our bones and our stuff and go, what the hell were these people doing? Do you ever feel that way a little bit? Like,
wow, they sure focused on really stupid things.
Yeah, it's going to feel that way. Now, I know there's a lot of other paperwork about a lot of serious things out there.
Yeah, September 20th, 1984 was also the day of the Beirut bombing of the U.S. Embassy.
Oh, that's gnarly.
And I remember our principal, who taught my history class in junior high at the time, setting us all down and saying this was a historic moment. The United States had gone to war for less, and that we should all be prepared. Like, scared the crap out of us.
Yeah, that'll happen. Yeah, I guess you're right, though. You're right about this whole pick a point in time and you can find things around it, right? It just works that way.
And likewise, pick a point in time, you can find people doing silly things because we're humans, and there's nothing wrong with doing silly things. There's that, and we want distractions from these horrible things. So we like to focus on silly things. I don't know. I think I'm a perennial pessimistic optimist, which is I don't think we're doing very well, but we're still making progress.
You're a rational optimist, is what you are. Not to invoke that book. It's a good book.
I do think things are better, and I do think this idea that we did a silly thing like Who's the Boss date coming up in Google, and therefore everyone will think our society was screwed up.
Yeah.
But when we discover like graffiti existed in ancient Rome, we're thrilled, right?
Yeah.
We don't look at that and go, oh, Rome was a piece of crap. They did graffiti and they wasted time on amusements.
Right.
No, we think it's amazing that those ancient, because we have this idea that people in other places or other times are so much more sophisticated than us.
I'm convinced you could have been a psychologist. I'm convinced of it. Like, just a different life Tom could have gone to
he could have done so many better things.
You're convinced of that until your sister comes on and shows what an actual psychologist can do.
I don't know. I like your positive rising road sort of look on things. I think it's good.
I appreciate that. I did, in all honesty, I did want to talk about that Microsoft thing you mentioned, and that might end up definitely be on DTNS. I don't know if it'll be our main discussion.
Feels like a big one, yeah.
But yeah, this is Satya Nadella confirming something I've suspected for a long time, which is, we're not in. That Nokia acquisition, I wouldn't have done it because he is shutting it down. They are going to lay off 7,800 people. They're going to write off $7.6 billion related to the Nokia deal. Writing it off. I'm not going to pretend to be a financial analyst, but you only do that when you're saying, we don't expect a return on this money.
Yeah.
So we're going to say we lost it right now and get all the losses out of the way.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I don't know if this is clarifiable or not, but the people being laid off, are they all related to the Nokia acquisition in that they were acquired also? And this isn't like a big chunk of also Microsoft Central being let go at the same time, but just all related to that acquisition of Nokia.
I don't think we know that. I don't think we know which 7,800 people. Probably the people at Microsoft are wondering that same question.
Yeah.
But it does seem that would be where most of them come. And the Verge story says that they are primarily coming from the phone business. So, yeah.
Well, he warned a month ago or whatever it was that some big, hard decisions were being made.
Yeah.
So nobody should be all that surprised by it. And how has the market react? I guess we don't know if it's reacted badly because it's shut down.
It reacted by closing down?
Yeah. I guess the NASDAQ could say something.
No. And like I said, there is still stock trading. Let's take a look. Microsoft stock.
Very curious.
Up 6 cents.
So that's not a huge piece of movement. It's also a weird day, so maybe that doesn't count.
That's almost like the market giving a knowing nod, like,
yeah. That Nokia idea was bad.
That's right.
You know what we can do? Let's all take just a moment here. Let's take a moment and just remember Nokia for who they were. Here you go. That's it. Because I assume they're going to flush the whole thing. There's no Nokia anymore, right?
Well, no. I mean, there wasn't. What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by this is they bought Nokia, right?
Right.
They're going to write off the $7.9 billion. They're going to fire all these people. Does that mean Nokia as a brand gone?
No, it does not. They are going to continue to make phones. In fact, he actually said there are 3 types of phones they're going to continue to make. A business phone, a value phone, and a flagship phone. They are just not going to make the wide variety of phones that they were making, that handset business has traditionally made.
Yeah.
So it's a focusing. And I think that's a really interesting take where they're saying, look, we don't make 12 different tablets. We make the Surface Pro and we make the Surface. We don't make a ton of game consoles. We make the Xbox. And so we're only going to make a few. We're going to make one in each category, basically, of phones to show the way. And that's what Microsoft's hardware business has supposedly been, even since Ballmer started doing things like the Surface tablet, is just a kind of a flagship product to show what the platform can do. And when they bought the Nokia handset division, they were buying way more than that.
Well, they were buying flip phones and Symbian phones. And
they were buying a handset maker. They were buying somebody who makes a whole line of phones, dozens of phones.
Yeah, it's a kind of a weird buy, but whatever. He's off with the Clippers now, and everything's fine.
And Satya Mania running wild.
Yeah, kicking trash, taking names, and firing everybody.
By the way, the Teespring for Satya Mania funded.
Did it really?
Yeah. So you can still get one until tomorrow at teespring.com/SatyaMania if you want to show your show your enthusiasm for Satya Nadella, or not. Maybe you think it's mocking him and you want to buy it. I don't know.
Welcome to 2015. Later on today, we'll talk clearly about that and other things on DTNS. I love Wednesdays. I get to be on there and hang out with Tom and do stuff and have guests and all that. It's always good.
It's going to be good fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. You got anything else that we should know before we go here?
I do, Scott.
Oh, tell me more.
I think people should buy my book, Citadel 32, at TomAirBooks.com.
Yes, I think they should too, and here's why. If they order it now, you'll be in Salt Lake City in like 3 weeks.
Oh, crap. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So you're going to be here. And when you come, I'm going to be here too. And when people buy that book, if they order it now, they could probably get it before they come. And if they're coming,
have it signed.
Yeah, with markers and everything.
Absolutely. And thankfully, that reminded me that we have a special Nerdtacular DTNS t-shirt at dailytechnewsshow.com/store. That was why I paused. I'm like, there is something. It's got the DTNS logo on the front, and it's got a Jenny Josephson imagined design that Sebgons from the chat room polished up of all of our names spelling out Nerdtacular.
On the back, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Almost said
Jolly
odd.
Roger is the R, Jenny J is the E, Hack5 Darren is the D, Scott Johnson is the T.
It's super cool. I can't wait to wear one. So get
here's
one.
the thing with that. If you go to dailytechnewsshow.com/store, you buy the DTNS Nerdtacular shirt and put in 2 sides, TWOSIDES, as the code, you don't have to pay for shipping, and you pick it up at Nerdtacular.
Ah, even better. Yeah, we're doing a similar thing for Nerdtacular shirts generally. It's really a great way to get it if you're coming. So show up. There it is. Prepared for you. No shipping. Boom. Put it on your body. Wear it. Show off your physique. Whatever, man. gonna be
Cover your
great.
shame. I don't know. Whatever you want to do with it.
Daily Tech News Show later today, 2:30 Mountain Time. So check that out. I'll be on. So will Tom, of course, and it'll be fun. Also, Ace Detect on Twitter, and Tom Merritt. Everybody, stay out of trouble, Tom.
Thanks, friends.
We'll see you later.
See you, Tom.
Bye now. Can't find the thing to hang up on.
Just looking at that shirt, I didn't want to say anything to Tom, but he forgot to put his own name on there.
Yeah, what the hell, man? Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that seems
stupid.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Or thank you, that guy. All right, we're going to do emails. They're numerous. Actually, they're phone calls. All phone calls today, and they're brought to you by.
I know I promised people emails, but there aren't any emails. Yeah. I have a GoFundMe to raise money to purchase another camera to use alongside my old camera at Nerdtacular 2015. I'll be taking photos of every part of the show and as many people as possible. Please help out. The URL is gofundme.com/nerdtacularcamera.
There you go.
That one by TV's Egon, man. And help him out because he takes so many photos at Nerdtacular. Eric Sutton, Velvet Lip, and TV's Egon, and
Between
Taylor.
those two, Taylor's going to be do a bunch,
So the more photos we have of this event, the more that we will be able to prove that it really did happen.
I mean, last year we cleaned up, man.
Oh, it was great. The photos that came out of Nerdtacular 2014 were fantastic. And this year I'm not going to shave my beard, so I won't do any pictures where I'm hiding my bald chin.
Yeah, keep that weird thing on. Here's your phone calls, and they start with this one here by somebody. Okay. So here it is.
Talking about your discussion that you had about the Amazon Alexa or the Echo on Wednesday's show. And you mentioned that when you asked for Def Leppard, it only played karaoke. My wife is a huge Def Leppard fan, and the reason for that is because Universal owns the rights to all of their early stuff, Pyromania, Hysteria, and so on. And they did not want to pay the band to go for the digital and the streaming, or apparently they were going to pay a pittance. And so the band told them to F off and don't even bother asking.
Wow.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, so if that's the case, man, look at them taking a stand. Now they're all over Apple Music, though. I can get it all on there. So that's the other thing I'll say about the Apple Music service, whether you're considering it later on Android or you have it now on iPhone. That service has a very, very deep selection. Kind of shockingly deep. And it's the only place you're going to get, for example, it's the only place I found AC/DC. They don't,
Taylor Swift, 1979.
Well, that too, 89.
1989.
But also...
I wanted to be a year older.
The Beatles. That's
or
the
10
only,
years older.
It's the only place you can get the Beatles. So
yeah.
It's really, really deep, and the Def Leppard is all up in that. So if your wife wants that, you're good to go. Yeah, it is weird though that Alexa does that. I'm looking forward to some of the rumored speculation that Alexa is going to start supporting more services innately, like Spotify, like Apple Music, like others, and that would be really nice if that would do that.
That would be cool.
All right, here's one about movies.
Hey guys, quick question. I was wondering if you guys miss the kind of movie that is just like a standalone movie. Seems like a lot of stuff is remake or part of a big universe. And I'm just wondering what happened to just the movie. Just one story, and that's it. Are they over? Are they not really ever going to be in cinemas anymore? I don't know. Anyway, that's all. Bye.
So, sequels generate revenue.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but that is going to be a lot of the way things are. But there are definitely examples. I mean, District 9 never got a sequel. I can't think of anything else.
Basically, if you're looking at a blockbuster movie, chances are it's written with a sequel idea in mind. But some of the less prominent stuff isn't written to have sequels.
And if it hits big,
films
right? Like Pitch Perfect when it came out, I don't think they had any plans for a sequel. But it was huge.
I think they did.
You think so?
They said, yeah. I think, I'm sure somebody said, we could probably make a great franchise out of this. But I'm thinking like the Skeleton Twins with Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader. No one said, yeah, we're going to totally have a franchise with this, with movies and maybe a tie-in TV show. And
yeah, that's a good point.
So
I don't know. I just think sometimes they're surprised that something hit big and then they go into sequel mode. It just depends on the film, I guess. So I guess what I'm saying is there are plenty of movies that come out that may not have any sequel potential, or at least obvious or pre-planned, but then hits big enough that they then go into sequel mode.
Right.
There wasn't like I remember reading that Gore Verbinski, is that how you say his name? Anyway, he had no plans at least as the director, for sequels to the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. But it was so big, Disney was like, order 5 more.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. So I think there are plenty of opportunities for movies to come out, be one thing, and go away. But I think if it makes tons and tons of money, it's very hard for Hollywood not to say, well, let's make sequels. Because sequels make more money there. They make more money in video games. Like, some would argue the best Halo game was Halo 1. Well, you can't just stop there. If it's making money, you keep making more. It's the video game business is even more so this way, but sequels make money. And that's where movies are these days. We'll always have quiet, small, indie one-offs.
Sure.
And I'm glad that's still true, but there's not much you can do about it. Hold him down? I don't know what this is. Here's a call.
Hey guys, Matt. Calling in regards to the show yesterday, TMS, when you were talking about the guy with the colonoscopy and you recorded it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my mother-in-law is a nurse at a doctor's office, and she was telling us a story about a gentleman that recently had a colonoscopy and woke up towards the end of it, but he woke up to 2 nurses sitting on top of him, holding him down while the doctor was finishing up his colonoscopy. And he, after the colonoscopy, said something to his doctor, and all the doctor can do is look at him and say, it's kind of erotic, isn't it? And to which the gentleman replied, I'm suing you. Brian, I hope you liked the stove.
Now, what does that mean at the end about Brian? I hope you like the stove.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's okay. So that's
your stovetop.
That's Matt. He's the guy who sent me the stovetop. Yeah.
Oh, that's the Matt.
The cooktop. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man, for helping Brian cook food again.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hope I'm getting his name right. I'm hoping it's Matt. I'm pretty sure.
It seems like a thing that he would say if that's him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said Matt at the beginning of the call.
I wanted to make sure that it was. Oh, he did say his name was Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's funny. So
Can you imagine,
he had
dude?
the nurses holding him down by sitting on him.
Well, here's the thing. I woke up from that stuff, and as you know, I was delirious, said things I don't remember.
Sure.
How did you have the presence of mind to even see what you think you saw? That's what I want to know. Because I don't think I could have, or remembered even seeing it. Because I don't remember a thing right before or for a good long while after. And they may, as far as I know, they were sitting on me. But what makes it different for him? Maybe his body reacted differently to the anesthesia. Yeah, I would be pissed if this was me, and you could prove that happened. I'd be super pissed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if they were hot nurses, I think I'd be okay with
You'd be all right with it if they were hot?
I'd be all right with it.
Oh, that's great. If I was a lesbian, I would, or if I was a girl, I'd be a lesbian. I always tell people that.
Right.
It's like, what would it be like to be gay? And I said, well, if I was a lesbian, or if I was a girl, I'd be a lesbian.
And then I'd know. Then I know exactly what it'd be like.
Exactly. All right, here's your final call. It's about Elmo, and we're being called out.
Hey, Scott and Ryan. This is Robbie from California, and I was listening to TMS 850, which both of you guys seem to do a little bit of ragging on Elmo. And, well, I'm 16 years old and kind of grew up on Elmo, and was honestly pretty surprised to hear this. I'm not offended, but I didn't even know Sesame Street was a thing without Elmo. So if you guys care to elaborate on this, thanks.
That's my entire point.
Exactly. When you're not raised on a Sesame Street with Elmo, Sesame Street is a completely different thing.
Yeah. I mean, Brian, if you started going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, this kid wouldn't know what you were doing.
Right, exactly. I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Imagine what's a good popular TV show? All right, here you go. Here you go.
All right.
Imagine Breaking Bad.
Okay.
But they decide to use Tuco in every single scene. And Tuco shows up at Better Call Saul's office, and Tuco shows up and throws pizza on the roof and goes tight, 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 and then he runs over here and he's in the laundromat or in the car wash.
Yeah.
Imagine Tuco appearing in every single scene. That is what Sesame Street became after Elmo joined.
Yeah, that's exactly a good point. And we're not even saying that would be a bad show. It's just an entirely different show than what we were given. Yeah. What we had was big. It had a lot of variety. It had all the Muppets involved. It wasn't just occasionally something with Bert and Ernie.
It was a variety of skits, and here's a video thing, and then here's a little cartoon bit, and then here's Oscar talking to Gordon about Big Bird and Snuffleupagus, and
Sure. There was that guy that dropped 12 custard cakes every time.
Right. But
Like-
yeah, once Elmo joined, and you had Elmo, and you had Mr. What's his face, the live action thing with the guy with the mustache and the bald head.
Oh, right.
I can't remember his name.
I don't
But
remember
anyway,
the name either.
Elmo became, when Tristan, because Tristan was about the same age. He was the growing up on Elmo age.
Yeah.
And if I could have DVR'd old episodes of Sesame Street and had him watch those instead, I would have.
I would have too. If that was more of a thing, then I totally would have. And the kids, Taylor's that same generation, Carter to a lesser degree, but thankfully there are ways to show them the other stuff. You can see how adult referential some of the old Sesame Streets were. The cartoon about a rebel L, meaning the L that is always in strange words and sometimes it's silent or whatever. There was a freaking music video that had a Muppet version of
Rebel Yell by Billy Idol.
By Billy, a little Muppet Billy Idol. It was amazing.
Yeah.
With the rebel L, he said. Oh, it was great. Anyway, I miss what Sesame Street was. I'm sure it's fine for what it is. I don't want to diminish what it is to him.
Sure.
But it's just not at all.
And
the
he
same
sounds
show.
like a well-adjusted, smart, good dude. So obviously Sesame Street was okay for him as well.
Yeah, and I personally don't hate Elmo. I just don't like that the show completely focused on him. I actually kind of think he's one of the...
I hate Elmo.
It doesn't drive me crazy. Who drives me crazy is those two little Oscar the Grouch offshoots, the little girl and little boy one.
Oh, I apparently missed that business. Thank goodness.
They're bad. They're not good. And Jim Henson just not having his hand on any of this stuff anymore just makes me sad. So,
well, yeah.
He went and died, so.
Yeah, there's a reason his hand isn't in it.
Yeah, you got to go to China for your Muppets now.
China!
All right.
China.
That's it for your calls. Thank you for sending those in. I'm trying to get through some of those backlogged ones. Thank you so much for those. By the way, Thursday is Wootstock on Alpha Geek Radio.
Yes.
Do not forget to check it
There's going to be
out.
a live video stream and audio stream Thursday night at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, the only time zone that matters.
Yep.
Will Wheaton, Adam Savage, Paul and Storm, Alton Brown, Aisha Tyler.
Yep. Probably some other folks will pop in that we don't even know about. Last year they had George R.R. Martin walked out on stage, broke a guitar. It was amazing.
Crazy time is that Woodstock.
Woodstock
I've
is
actually
cool.
never watched one, so.
I have. I watched last year's. It was great. Paul and Storm, those chuckleheads doing their thing. So yeah, check it out. 8 p.m. Mountain, right?
8 p.m. Mountain.
8 p.m. Mountain tomorrow, alphageekradio.com.
That's the
Check
one.
that out. Good luck to Todd down there. He'll be, after that, his next big event is Nerdtacular. We're super stoked to have him there helping us as well. Frogpants.com/TMS is our website. themorningstream@gmail.com is our email address. Please call us. Leave us voicemails like the ones you heard today at 801-471-0462. Or you can find us on Twitter at Coverville, at Scott Johnson, at Morningstream. All right, Brian. Music. Let's do... tell us about
on
Coverville.
Wednesdays you say that there's going to be a Coverville Day, and I say, yes, there is going to be a Coverville today. And then I tell you that it's going to feature the music of Beck Hansen, and his Devil's Haircut. Covers of Beck, who's turning 45.
Whoa.
We're starting to get to the age where the big popular singers are younger, the same age and younger than us, Scott.
It's freaking
I mean,
out.
other than the ones that are obvious, like the Justin Timberlakes and the the Backstreet Boys, etc. Huey Lewis, though, is turning 65. He's good and old.
Wow.
And we're going to be celebrating his birthday. So Beck and Huey Lewis, it's your 80s and 90s fix today on Coverville. I think I'm also going to try and wedge in a set of requests because we've been getting a lot of requests in. So if you have a request you want to make for Coverville, use the toll-free request line. That number is 1-877-7-COVER-9. That's 1-877-7-COVER-9. It's toll-free. Leave a message. I'll play your request with your song.
It's the very first RSS-based podcast I ever heard was Coverville.
Wow.
Crazy. I've told you that before, right?
You have told me that before.
First show
You
I
and
ever
Veronica Belmont and Tom Merritt, like all.
Yeah. And I never, I'm amazed that it didn't discourage you guys from podcasting. Like, wow, this is shit. Well, what it did was, because I was doing shows since like 1999, but they were just download MP3 things from the internet. So anything I'd heard up till like 2004 was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what yours was this thing I synced to my iPod.
And had it automatically downloaded.
Yeah, and I went, what? And was using one of those old apps. What was the old podcatchers called?
iPod X.
iPod or X, and what was the other banana one or something?
There was a lime, right? It was Pod
Lemon.
Pod Lemon? Something like that?
Lemon. It was a Mac thing.
Yeah, what was that?
I can't remember.
I think
But
they were even a sponsor.
I played with
Covered
both
for a
of those, and yours was the very first show I ever like subscribed, auto downloaded, sunk to my thing, and listened to while I jogged. And that was a huge revelation. That's when I went, yeah, okay, that thing I've been doing since '99, it's about to take a big turn. We're gonna move it over here.
Pod Lemon. What? Pod Lemon does sound familiar. Like
Yeah, something about a lemon. Pod
Yeah.
lemon pod.
You googling it?
Yeah, it may not help.
Well, it's not podcast pickle.
No, lemon curd cookies. No. Pod. Yeah, I can't find it. I swear there's a great history of that stuff.
iPodder Lemon.
iPodder Lemon?
Yeah, the iPodder Lemon based on the.
That may have been.
Here. Oh, you know what it is? iPodder.
Yeah.
Had a lemon as an icon as the.
Oh, is that all it was?
Yeah.
Oh well, shite. All right. Well, you learn something every day.
I thought there was something like that in the name, though.
I did too. I don't know. And I remember they were like the big whoop, and then iTunes announced they were putting support in directly, and everyone went, shit.
Oh, everyone's exactly. It's like, well, we're all done. Thanks. We're done making apps.
It was a huge boon to the business, but it was a sad day for those little weird catcher apps.
But now we're back to using things like Downcast and
and it's all happening direct to our
Overcast.
phones. Like it's such a different world.
And if you do use not Overcast but Downcast to download Coverville, you can skip songs you don't like, and instead of ending the show, it just goes to the next song. People,
yeah,
that's the best part.
Yeah, Downcast is pretty good. It's my second favorite. I like Overcast a lot, but Downcast.
I do
pretty
too.
Good.
I wish I use Overcast for everything else.
Yeah.
But shows like the MacCast that are done with segmentation chapters.
Yeah.
Once you get hooked on chapters, you're like, wow, why don't all podcasts do this?
seems
Why
like
can't
a
we
thing.
skip right past the shit that Brian and Scott talk about first thing and jump right to Trek Nerd?
And there's still ACCs, right? To do that. You can't-
AAC.
or AAC. Not you can't
AAC.
do.
You can't do that with MP3 yet.
Yeah, that's your problem right there.
Right.
Well, anyway, there you go.
LimeWire,
Trip down memory
says
lane.
Cleo. LimeWire.
No, LimeWire was a torrent thing.
That was a different thing. Yep.
Yeah, I also used that for a while. The heady days.
By the way, I've dropped 2 S-bombs in the last 30 minutes of the show. What the heck is wrong with me?
What the hell, man?
I know.
All right, well, give us a song then. Jeez.
Okay, Josh says,
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Skibbit and Bronson. I recently celebrated my 1-year anniversary of listening to the morning stream. I can't remember the first day I listened to the show. In all that time, I've never sent in a song request, a travesty, which I intend to rectify using this as an excuse. When I began listening to the morning stream last summer, I entered amidst stories of Batman the Bird and Mendoza, leader of the infamous Utah Goose Gang. Over the time, crime rates involving bird gang activity have skyrocketed, a fact I find quite foul.
Yeah.
I wondered just what I'd gotten myself into, but how can one not become hooked to a show when the very first story you hear features the Goose Mafia? Now, 1 year later, I'd like to ask Brian if he can play a cover of I've Got No Strings from Pinocchio, but made awesome by the Avengers. Where'd the goose go? Signed, Josh.
Nice. The bird goes tweet. Bird goes tweet.
You want to go burn hunting this weekend? I can't hear one now without the other.
I know. Weird.
So the I Got No Strings from the Avengers, used it for the trailer of the Avengers. And there wasn't an actual recorded version. I looked and I searched. That was done specifically for the trailer. However, a group called, pulling it up right now, because you can always find me on Twitter, a group called L'Orchestra Cinématique.
Okay.
Recorded a version of the song you hear in the trailer. Basically, it's basically like they just took the audio from the trailer and took out all of the other Avengers talk in it. I like this for that fact, and I really like the style of it. What I don't like is their attempt at doing the Ultron voice, the James Spader voice. So that's going to kind of be a little throw-offy, but everything else about this, I really dig it. From their 2014 album, From Panel to Screen, Comic Book Movie Themes, here is L'Orchestra Cinématique with their cover of I've Got No Strings.
Perfect. See you guys tomorrow for Thursday's episode. We'll have Wendy here and do our thing. So see you then. Stay safe and eat your vegetables or whatever the hell I'm talking about. Here's your song.